Over the years, I've travelled to many of the world's most challenging terrains, from deserts to jungles to rushing rivers and high seas, taking on some of the toughest environments on Earth. I'm Bear Grylls, and today I'm exploring the spectacular surroundings of the Welsh Coastal Path as it celebrates its first birthday. And it's an area that I love, from my army days through the long summers spent here with my family. So come along for the ride, it's gonna be a blast. Welcome to Songs of Praise. Today I meet an unexpected rower on the rough seas of Cardigan Bay. Experience the vital work of the Wales Air Ambulance. And we have music from a host of artists, including Julian Lloyd-Webber and Rhys Marion, with hymns from Llandaff Cathedral. The Welsh Coastal Path takes in some of the most dramatic and varied scenery in the whole of the United Kingdom. But it's certainly not all a walk in the park, with challenging and varying terrain along its 870-mile stretch, from Chepstow in the southeast to the outskirts of Chester in the north.
But to walk the whole thing would take about a month. But for me, on my little tour, I'm traveling from the south to the north, through the sort of terrain that perfectly demonstrates God's extravagance. And for me, when I'm in the great outdoors, the words that spring to mind are "How great thou art." The Gower Peninsula in South Wales is where the Welsh composer Carl Jenkins was born and raised, and he often walks those paths for inspiration.
His music is known to millions throughout the world, from Addy Amos to spiritual texts such as The Armed Man, and he is the world's most performed living composer of classical music.
This is where I grew up, Gower Peninsula, fantastic area. There's a special atmosphere. It can be dramatic, it can be peaceful, it can be bleak, austere, but also very inviting, and I think that gives it this kind of special charm and sense of magic. Actually, it's incredible, and still find it very inspiring when I write music. Like many boys of my generation, I was kind of brought up in a chapel environment. My father was a school teacher by day and by profession, but he was also a chapel organist and choirmaster at weekends at Tabernacle Chapel in Pencloud. So that element of Welsh choral singing and congregational singing contributed in part to what I do now. I'm inspired by spirituality and the idea of a supreme being. I was raised a Christian, so the biblical extracts all through the music I write, you know, it's if it's not specific to one area, it's kind of drawn from different passages of the Bible. You receive a lot of letters from people, quite humbling, saying how my music has kind of moved them and affected their lives and brought them comfort in times of illness, even bereavement.
Carl's wife, Carol Barrett Jenkins, herself a composer, is very aware of the impact that Carl's music has on others, even whilst facing the most challenging situations.
A lady whose mother was murdered, tragically, Christmas Day, found enormous solace in the Benedictus from the armed man, the Mass, and she just kept playing it and felt strengthened by it, really.
I remember I was standing in a record shop and this little old lady came up to me and recognized me, and she said her husband had just died and she was trying to find this beautiful cello piece with a choir, and did I know what it was? And as soon as she said that, I knew what it was. And I think there is something about Carl's music that touches a lot of people's hearts.
I wouldn't write music if I didn't communicate emotionally with people, you know. One critic said of me, he said I was emotionally manipulative, which I think is a fantastic, if I can do something that moves people, make them cry, laugh, whatever, I think it's an amazing gift to have.
almost 3/4 of the coastal path looks directly out to sea. So as you're passing through Cardigan Bay, keep an eye out for that popular dolphin, top notch. It's called that because of the notch in the top of its fin. But scientists actually believe now that dolphins from Wales, Ireland and Scotland have very distinct accents. And guess what? The Welsh one's the most high-pitched. I love it. Beauty through diversity.